morning. My name is Joella. We're going to get started with a yoga practice here in just a minute. You won't need any props for this practice, but if you have a yoga mat, that would be helpful. Just a reminder to make sure that you're listening to your body. Don't do anything that feels bad. You can always skip anything that you need to, or make any modifications that you need. Oh my goodness, everybody's saying hello. With that being said, please make sure that you've checked with a healthcare provider before starting a new exercise routine. So we're actually going to start standing today. So go ahead, just find a comfortable standing position on your mat. You can allow your eyes to close if that feels right. Otherwise, just allow your gaze to be soft. And just breathe here. Just noticing your breath and how it feels, not trying to change anything. And then slowly begin to deepen your breath. Making your inhales and exhales just a little longer with each one. And then maybe just breathing in and out your nose. Makes our breathing a little more intentional. Nice deep inhale in through your nose. And exhale out your nose. Let's do two more like this. Breathing in and out. Last one. Now just bringing that same awareness into our body. Noticing how your body feels. Maybe playing around with where your weight is settling in your feet. Swaying forward and back, side to side. And then see if you can just bring the weight right into the center of your feet. So you're pressing down evenly through both feet. And then beginning to find our Tadasana pose. You can open your eyes if that makes it a little more easy for you. But we want our feet to be about hips distance apart, our heel right behind our second toe. From there, you're going to lift up on your kneecaps and engage your quads. So lifting up on your quadriceps, the large thigh muscles at the front of your body. And think of pressing your calf forward into your shin a little bit. We're going to lengthen our tailbone down, lifting your front hip points up toward your low ribs. Lifting your low back ribs up and away from your tailbone. Broadening through your collarbone, chin parallel to the floor, floating right over your shoulders. Hands can just come down to your side. Palms can face forward or down, whatever's more comfortable for you. Just breathing here. This, full muscle engagement here, even though we're just standing up. Pressing down evenly into all four corners of our feet, lifting in and up on our inner and outer arches. Ears right over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over ankle. So one long line from the crown of your head down to your heels. Beginning to add a little bit of movement here. On your next inhale, arms reach out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, right hand comes down, left hand reaches up and over. Nice side bend, keeping both feet grounded to the floor, but maintaining length from this right hip to the right low ribs. Inhale back up to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands down to your side. Other side, inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, left hand comes down to the left, right hand reaches up and over, finding length here. Breathing here. Inhale, back up through center. And exhale, hands back down to your side. Flowing through that a little faster. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, side bending over to the right. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, releasing your hands. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, hands down to your side. One more time, legs are still engaged, pressing down through our feet, lifting up on our quads. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, lifting back up through center. Exhale, hands down by your side. Again, inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, up through center. Exhale, hands down by your side. Let's bring our hands to our hips. We're gonna root down through that left foot and inhale, right leg, right up, knee bringing to your hip height. So hugging your outer hips in, pressing down through that left leg. So we have that same muscle engagement in our left leg as we did in Tadasana, lifting up on our quads. Let's just make a little figure 8 with our knee. So internally rotating it, bringing it over to the middle, externally rotating it as it goes out to the side. Finding stillness. And exhale it back down. Other side, pressing down through that right foot, lifting up on that right quad, tailbone lengthening down, lifting your left leg up to hip height. Pausing here, rooting through that right leg. Internally rotating that leg, coming over to the midline. Externally rotating it as we go out to the side, making a little figure 8 with our knee. Just gently warming up that hip. Last one. Bring it back to the middle, hugging in your outer hips, sitting that foot down to meet the right. A few little half sun salutations here, starting in Tadasana. Inhaling your arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, bending your knees as much as you need to, hinging forward from your hips. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, lengthening through your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to your side, Tadasana. 2 more like that. Inhale, maybe glancing up at your fingers. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana. One more. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Really matching our movement to our breath, taking the full exhale to forward fold. That full inhale to find our Ardha Uttanasana. Full exhale to come back down. Inhaling, sitting all the way up. And exhale, hands to your side, Tadasana Mountain Pose. Go ahead and stand up at the top of your mat. And just move with me. Thank you. So feet hip distance apart, finding that same Tadasana Mountain Pose, lengthening your tailbone down. Artemis. Little baby. I know. All right. Inhaling, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. From here, we're going to step our right foot back to a low lunge. Left foot comes back to meet it. Always welcome to put your knees down to the floor here. From here, you're going to hinge forward slightly so your shoulders come over your fingertips. And exhale, lower down, Chaturanga. One long line, lowering all the way down to the floor. Uncurl your toes. Hands, wrist creases come right underneath your elbows. We're going to exhale here. Inhale, chest, shoulders, head lift for Baby Cobra. So your low ribs are staying down towards the floor. Pressing down through the tops of your feet, lifting up on your inner thighs, tailbone lengthening down and back. One more breath. And exhale, lowering down to the floor. Go ahead and press through your hands, coming up to all fours. Tucking your toes under, lifting your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Our first downward facing dog of the practice. So our hands are shoulder distance, maybe slightly wider apart. Wrist creases parallel or slightly turned out to the front edge of your mat. Pressing down a little more into your thumb and first finger as your triceps wrap in. Shoulders floating away from your ears. Finding length through your spine. So a little bend in your knees to help you lengthen your tailbone, your sits bones, up behind you where the wall and ceiling meet. Feet are hips distance apart, balls of your feet pressing down to the floor, heels are lifted right up behind your second toe so your feet are parallel to each other. Squeezing your outer hips in, lifting up on your quads here. Finding length. One more breath. The bottom of your exhale, looking forward towards your hands, stepping your left foot forward to that low lunge. Bringing your right foot up to meet the left, hips distance apart. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out and up. Urdhva Hastasana. And right away, right back down. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, right foot steps back. Left foot meets it. Chaturanga. All the way down. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale, pressing through all fours, tucking your toes under, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Holding here for about 2 breaths. We're going to repeat that second half again. So inhale, hinge forward to plank pose. Again, knees can be down or up. Hinging forward slightly so that your shoulders come over your fingertips. Exhale, chaturanga, outer upper arms stay wrapped in by your ribs. This time, uncurling your toes, pressing into your hands, finding upward facing dog. Tops of your feet and hands are the only thing on the floor. Thighs are lifting up, tailbone lengthening back, sternum reaching through your arms. One more breath. Lifting your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing here. The bottom of your exhale, looking towards your hands, stepping your left foot forward. Right foot meets it. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Down right away, exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, right into our chaturanga. Feet can float back, landing with bent elbows or step back. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. You pick. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pausing here. One more breath. Lift your right leg up to 3-legged dog. So right to hip height, toes and knees pointing down towards the floor. Outer hips, your glute medius hugging in towards the midline. Lifting up through that inner right thigh. Exhale, bring your knees towards your nose and set your foot down right to the inside of your right thumb. Heel toe that right foot over towards the midline. Spin your left heel down. And inhale up, warrior 2. So that front knee is right over top of that front ankle. You're pressing down to the outer edge of that back left foot, back left thigh, reaching in. Arms come out to a T, shoulders right over top of your hips. That knee is tracking over your second toe so you can see your big toe right to the inside of your knee. So inner right knee moving over to the right. Exhale here. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten, pressing down through that big toe, lifting up on the quad. Exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale, straighten, lifting that front right hip point away from that thigh bone. Exhale, bend. Breathing here. One more breath. Exhale, right hand reaches towards the right, pelvis tilts to the right, bringing your right elbow down to the top of your right knee, left hand all the way up and over by your ear, outer upper arm wrapping in. One long line from the back of that left heel to your fingertips. Both sides of your torso nice and long so your spine is straight. Pressing down to the outer edge of that back foot. Still that back thigh is wrapping in. Tailbone lengthening down towards your back heel. You can look up under your left arm if that feels good on your neck. One more breath. Next exhale, look down towards your right foot. Left hand reaches up towards the sky. Inhale, warrior two. On your next inhale, straightening through that right leg. Bring your hands to your hips, parallel your feet towards the wide edges of your mat. So parallel to each other, parallel to the short edges, excuse me. Hands on your hips. Lifting up on your quads, tilting forward from your pelvis. So you feel your hip points moving forward. Pausing right here halfway down and breathe. So reaching the crown of your head forward, the tailbone back. Weight comes a little more into the balls of your feet. You can bend your knees as you need to. One more breath. And exhale, round forward. Still finding length here. Pressing down through your feet, lifting up on your quads. Walking your hands back if you can. But not just stretching here, but maintaining the muscle engagement. So lifting up on your quads, thinking of your sits bones pulling together. That's going to protect your hamstrings. Exhale here. Inhale, back up halfway. Hands come back up to your hips, elbows pointing up towards the sky. Exhale here. Inhale, pressing through your feet to stand up. Other side. So lift your left heel up and externally rotate that left leg, sitting your heel down, knee right over top of that heel. We're going to internally rotate our right leg. So we're lined up heel to arch here, pressing down through the outer edge of that right foot, lifting in and back with that right inner thigh. Arms come out to a T. So making space between that left hip point and that left thigh bone. Left knee right over top of right ankle, tracking over that second toe. So inner left knee moving out to the left. You can see your big toe there. Arms can come out to a T right at shoulder height. Looking out over your left fingers if that feels good on your neck. One more breath. On your inhale, straightening that left leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And hold. Breathing here. On your next exhale, reaching your left fingertips over to the left. Pelvis tilts to the left, bringing your left elbow to your left leg. Right hand reaching all the way up over towards the left. So comes up by your ear, outer upper arm wrapping in. Pressing down through the outer edge of your right leg, reaching your fingers forward. Breathing, tailbone lengthening down towards that back heel. You can look up under your right arm. One more breath. On your exhale, looking down towards your left foot, right hand comes up. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale here. Inhale, straightening that left leg. Hands come back to your hips. Feet turn back to the side. So parallel to each other and the short edges of your mat. We're going to do another forward fold. This time we can clasp our hands behind our backs. If you can't reach both hands, you can just clasp your thumbs behind your back. If that's not doable for you either, you can just put your hands on your hips. Whatever feels good. If you have a strap or a sweater, a belt, a towel, anything, you can hold it in both hands behind your back. So hands clasped behind your back, pressing down through your feet, lifting up on your thighs, standing up nice and tall, and exhale, hinging forward. Arms come up and over. Breathing here, stretching through our shoulders. Weight comes a little more forward into the balls of our feet so that our outer hip can stay right over top of our heel. Lifting up on your quads, sits bones pulling together. Let's do one more breath. And exhale, release your hands towards the mat. One more breath. And inhale, slowly make your way back up to stand. And we're going to come down, just bending that right knee, hands frame the right foot, stepping your right foot back. Option to flow through your vinyasa, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing here. One more breath. The bottom of your exhale, look towards your hands. Walk, step, or float your feet up. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms forward and up, Utkatasana, chair pose. Hips sink back, spine's long. Front hip points lift up and away from your thigh bones. Pressing down through your feet. Feet are hips distance apart. Knees moving straight up from our hips, sinking back a little bit further. Arms nice and straight, lifting up, rounding through our collarbone. One more breath. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Stepping your feet back, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Right away, we're going to place our left knee down towards the floor. Step your right foot up to the inside of your right thumb. Inhale, arms forward and up, hugging your outer hips in. And exhale, hands down to frame the right foot. Right foot steps back, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Right away again, right knee comes down. Left foot steps up to the inside of the left thumb. Arms forward and up, outer hips hugging in. Exhale, hands down to frame the left foot. Stepping it back, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing here. One more breath. Inhale your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Toes, knees pointing down towards the floor. And exhale, step it to the inside of your right thumb. Pressing down through all four corners of this right foot, right knee right over top of that heel, reaching back through our left heel. Lifting up from that left quad, outer hips hugging in. Inhale, arms forward and up, high lunge. Little bend in that back knee so you lengthen your tailbone down. One more breath here. Inhale here. And exhale, twisting open to the right. So still pressing down through those feet, still finding length through your low spine, lifting your front hip points up and away from your thighs. Pressing down through your feet, that front knee is still right over top of that ankle. One more breath here. Inhale, arms coming up through the center. Exhale, hands down to frame that right foot. Setting that right foot back to three-legged dog. Inhale here, exhale, knee to nose, tiger curl. Shoulders come over the wrist. Inhale back. Exhale, knee towards your right tricep. Inhale back. Exhale, knee crosses your midline, comes over towards the left tricep. Inhale back. And exhale, placing it down to the floor right next to your left foot. Breathing here for a moment. We're going to bring our left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Hugging your outer hips in. Still finding length through your spine here. So pressing through your hands, outer upper arms wrapping in. Toes and knees pointing down towards the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, bringing your knee towards your nose, sitting it down to the inside of that left thumb. Reaching back through the right heel. Pressing down through all four corners of that front foot. Knee over ankle. Inhale, arms forward and up. High lunge, a little bit in that back knee. Lifting your front hip points up and away from your thigh bones. And at the same time, lifting your back ribs up and away from your sacrum. One more breath here. And on your exhale, twisting open to the left. So still keeping your legs engaged, pressing your feet into the floor, lifting up on your thigh bones. Breathing here. You can look back over that left hand. One more breath. Inhale, unwind. And exhale, hands come down to either side, that left leg, stepping your left leg up and back to three-legged dog. Inhale here, exhale, knee to nose, tiger curl. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee over towards your left tricep. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee crosses your midline over towards the right tricep. Inhale, extend. Exhale, sit it down. Downward facing dog. Breathing here. Inhale forward to plank. So pressing down through your hands, rooting down through your hands, looking up through your armpits. Front hip points moving up towards your low ribs so that your bum's not sticking out, but that it's parallel to the floor. One more breath here. Exhale, hinge forward, and lower all the way down to the floor, keeping your outer upper arms wrapping in, lowering down in one long line. Everything arrives at the same time. All right. So Shalabhasana here, hands down to your side. Sorry, hands down to your side. Exhale here. Inhale, chest, shoulders lift up off the floor. So pressing up with your thighs into your thigh bones, but down with the tops of your feet. So it's just our upper body lifting right now. Finding length through our spine, back of our necks nice and long, palms facing towards the midline, so in towards your hips. And exhale, lower down. One more time, inhale, upper body lifts, arms lift, back the neck's long. One more breath. Exhale here, inhale, legs lift, and breathe. One more breath. Exhale, lower down. Bringing your hands shoulder distance apart, and then walking them back so that your wrists are right underneath of your elbows. We're going to tuck our toes under, maybe walking them in slightly, lengthening your tailbone down towards the backs of your heels, lifting your thighs up into your thigh bone. Exhale here. Really think of lifting your front hip points up towards your low ribs. Exhale here. Inhale, press into your hands. Come all the way up, plank pose. We're going to spin to the outer edge of our right foot, inner edge of our left foot, and that left arm is going to reach up towards the sky. Maybe stacking your feet here, but not letting that left hip go backwards. It's going to stay right over top of that right hip. One more breath. And exhale, back to plank, nice and controlled. Other side. Exhale here, spinning to the inner edge of your right foot, outer edge of your left foot. Right hand reaches up. Maybe stacking your feet here. But keeping your hips stacked, not letting that top hip go backwards. One more breath. exhale, back to plank. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing here. The bottom of your exhale, let's step our right foot forward to the inside of our right thumb. Setting up for warrior one here, we're gonna spin our left foot down, our left heel down, so the outer edge of that right foot is pressing down on the floor as this left, that's your left foot. Left inner thigh is reaching up and back. Inhale, arms forward and up, so that front knee is right over top of that front ankle. You can see your big toe there to the inside. Lifting your front hip points up and away from your thigh bones. Pressing down to the outer edge of that back foot. Pressing back with the inner left thigh. One more breath here. We're going to transition from here to warrior two. So we're going to first heel toe that right foot up and over, and then open our arms out to a T, to warrior two. So we needed to make a little more space between our feet here. So our right foot had to move up as it moved over to now bring our heel to arch, arms out to a T. Breathing here. One more breath. And exhale, hands come down to either side of that front foot, back heel lifts up. Step it back, downward facing dog. Bringing our left leg up, three-legged dog. Toes and knees pointing down towards the floor, outer upper arms wrapping in. Breathing here. One more breath. Exhale, bringing your knee towards your nose, sitting it down to the inside of your left thumb. Spinning that right heel down, so you're pressing down to that outer edge of the right foot as that inner right thigh lifts up and back. Inhale, arms forward and up, hip points lifting up and away from your thigh bones. Front knee bent right over top of that ankle. Pressing down a little more into the heel of that front foot. Lengthening your tailbone down. Thighs engaged. So again, making that transition to warrior two, we're going to heel toe that front foot forward and up so that it dissects the back foot, heel to arch, and then opening up your arms, lengthening your tailbone down, wrapping that left boot cheek under. Breathing here. One more breath. Exhale, hands come down to either side, that left leg, stepping it up and back, downward facing dog. One more breath. The bottom of your exhale, looking towards your hands, walk, step, or float your feet up. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms forward and up, Utkatasana, chair pose, pressing down through your feet, lifting up and away with your front hip points. Nice long spine, arms nice and straight. One more breath. Inhale, staying all the way up. And exhale, releasing your hands to your side. All right, we're gonna do tree pose next. So let's bring our hands to our hips first. Pressing down through that left foot, lifting it up on your left quad. Hips are even, lengthening your tailbone down. We're gonna bring our right knee right up to hip height. From here, we're gonna externally rotate that leg so that inner right thigh points up towards the sky. And then open up our leg to the outside. Our knee is not gonna come way out to the side. More than likely, it's gonna be pointing out to the, towards the top right a little bit. And then bring your foot to your calf. Maybe you make a little kickstand here, just bringing your ankle or your heel to your ankle. Or you can use your hand to help bring it to that inner thigh, pressing your foot into your thigh, thigh back into your foot as your tailbone lengthens down. Breathing here. But we want to find that external rotation before we bring it out to the side. One more breath. Coming out of it the same way we came in. So gently bringing your right foot off your left leg, bringing it back over towards the middle, bringing it back to a neutral rotation, sitting it down towards the floor. Other side, rooting down through our right foot. Left leg comes up to hip height. Externally rotating that leg. So before it goes out to the side, it's turning in the hip socket. So your inner left thigh is pointing up towards the sky. Then you will open it out to the side. And it's not going to come completely out, but more pointing forward of you. Now bringing your foot to your calf, maybe making a little kickstand, or bringing it to that inner thigh. Hugging that right hip still in. So we didn't just drop down to that right hip. We're still lifting it up through the right leg. One more breath here. Pressing down through that foot. Coming out of it the same way we came in. So bringing your foot off the right leg. Bringing it back towards the middle. Neutrally rotating our thigh bone. Setting your left foot down to meet the right. All right, let's come back up to the top of our mat. Go ahead, inhale, arms forward and up. Exhale, Utkatasana chair pose. One breath here. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Stepping your feet back, plank pose. Breath here. We're going to come into side plank again. So coming to the outer edge of that right foot, inner edge of the left foot, the left hand up to the sky. You can stay right here with your feet in front of each other. You can put this bottom knee down, whatever you need. Bring that top leg up to stack on top of your right leg. Let's bring our top hand, our left hand, to our hip, pressing down through our full hand, maybe gripping the floor a little bit with that right hand, lifting up through your armpit. Let's see if we can lift our left leg up to hip height. Maybe externally rotating it. And then maybe sitting it down to our calf. Still staying lifted here, not putting weight on that right knee. Any of these options, you can stay wherever you're working today. Let's bring it back. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. So we want to take our time moving into this posture. Really pressing down through our hands, lifting up through our armpit. Keeping our hips stacked on top of each other, not letting the top hip roll back. Stay wherever you're working today, wherever you find it challenging, and work there. And then as you build strength there, you'll be able to move into the next step of the posture. So let's go ahead and try the left side. Inhaling forward. Pressing down through our left hand, really gripping the mat here. Coming to the outer edge of our left foot, inner edge of the right foot. Right hand reaches up. Again, option. You can place this left knee down to the floor. The next harder option would be to stack your right leg on top of your left. Breathing here. Go ahead, lift if you'd like. That right leg up to hip height. Externally rotated in the hip socket. Oops, I forgot we can put our hand to our hip. And then sit that foot down gently to the calf here. Not putting weight there. We don't want to put any pressure on our knee. Rooting down through the left hand. Inhale, your arm up, coming back out of it the same way you came in. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing here. Gently bringing your knees to the floor and your hips back towards your heels for child's pose. Your next inhale, walking your hands up, swinging your legs around in front of you. And let's just make our way down to the floor. Finding bridge pose here. Plant your feet flat to the floor, hips distance apart, feet parallel to each other, heels right underneath of your knees. We'll start gripping the outer edges of our mat with our hands. And then from there, think of wrapping your triceps in towards your ribs. Pressing down through your arms, just as much as your feet. Exhale here. Inhale, lifting your hips up. Lengthening your tailbone towards the back of your knees, keeping your knees hips distance apart so we're not letting them fall out to the side or collapse together. Lifting your low ribs up and away from your sacrum. Making space across your collarbone, pressing down through the outer edges of your arms. Making space between your chin and your chest, like you had a grapefruit or something there. So that you have space in your throat to breathe. One more breath. And exhale, lowering your hips back down. We're gonna do this 2 more times. If you'd like, you can keep that grip you have on the outer edges of your mat, or you can bring your hands down. Exhale here, then inhale, press through your feet, lifting your hips up. Maybe this time clasping your hands behind your sacrum, walking your shoulders under, creating space across your collarbone and space in your low back. Releasing your hands, walking your shoulders out, and lowering your hips back down. So you can stay with either of those 2 options. We're going to do it one more time. Pressing down on your feet, exhale here, inhale, hips lift. Bridge pose, Setu Sarvangasana. You can clasp your hands, walking your shoulders under, arms straight if you have your hands clasped, palms together. Lifting up through your hips, inner thighs, outer hips squeezing in, tailbone lengthening down. One more breath. Releasing your hands, hips lowering down towards the floor. Let's widen your feet just slightly, and then allow your knees, feet staying right where they are, but allow your knees to fall over gently to the left. So it's just a little twist, opening up to the front of that right hip. Arms can come out to a T or goalpost or cactus, however you want to think about it if you don't have room to make a T. Just breathing here. Exhale here, inhale your knees back up through center. And again, keeping your feet right where they are. Exhale your knees gently over to the right. Again, so your legs aren't stacked on top of each other, but there's space. So you're getting a nice stretch through the front of that left hip. back up through center. And exhale, gently hug your knees into your chest. You can clasp your hands behind your hamstrings, maybe over your shins, gently rocking from side to side. And then making your way into Shavasana, final relaxation pose. So feet can come flat to the floor with your knees touching together, or if this doesn't cause any pressure in your low back, you can extend them down your mat. Just bringing your arms to a comfortable position. Just finding ease here. If there are any last minute fidgets, just come to a place where your breathing can be natural, your body can be heavy. We can spend a few moments intentionally clearing our minds. You can stay here in Shavasana as long as you like, or you can invite movement back into your body, gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. Hugging your knees into your chest. And rolling over to your right side. Let's pause here for a few breaths. And on your next inhale, press through that left hand to push yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Just take a nice breath together here before we complete our practice. Taking a nice deep inhale, sweeping your arms out and up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Namaste. Thank you all very much. I'm here teaching yoga Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 10 a.m. And then on Fridays, I teach a total body conditioning class at 5 p.m. So I hope you can catch another class. Thank you.